Hurricane Melissa strengthened near Category 2 status. The Meteorological Service says Hurricane Melissa continues to rapidly intensify with maximum sustained winds increased to near 150 km per hour, putting it on the cusp of being a Category 2 storm. Rapid intensification is forecast to continue over the next day or so, and Melissa is expected to become a major hurricane by Sunday, posing an extremely high threat to the island. A hurricane warning remains in effect for Jamaica. A hurricane warning means that within the next 36 hours or less, Jamaicans should expect dangerous high water or a combination of dangerously high water and exceptionally high waves, even though winds expected may be less than hurricane force, as well as average winds of 64 knots. As at 4 p.m., the center of Hurricane Melissa was located about 162 kilometers of Morn Point, or 210 kilometers southeast of Kingston. Hurricane force winds extended outward up to 30 kilometers from the center, the Met Office stated. Melissa is moving slowly west-northwest near 6 kilometers per hour. A slow westward motion is expected through the rest of the weekend, followed by a turn in the north and northeast on Monday and Tuesday. The public is urged to prepare for life-threatening conditions.
So it will be a major hurricane. What is projected right now is that it will be a Category 4 hurricane that makes impact on the island. It will likely decrease as it moves toward the north coast, but a Category 4 hurricane is more than we have experienced before moving across the island. Gilbert was a Category 3 hurricane when it moved over Jamaica. It became Category 4 when it was heading to the Cayman Islands. Ivan was a Category 4 hurricane, yes, but the center did not pass over the island. Beryl was also a Category 4 hurricane, but it also did not impact us with a landfall. It was a direct hit because we've got the heavy rainfall and the associated weather, but it did not move over the island in terms of the center of the system. We have not had this experience before, so it's important for us to consider this as an extraordinary situation. So if you are living anywhere near a coastline, it is important that you pay attention to the fact that storm surge is a real potential. What will make a difference in terms of how badly you're affected by the storm surge is where exactly the center makes landfall. On the right side, or the eastern side of that center, the storm surge will be at its maximum. So if the center of the system passes over western Clarendon, for example, along the coast, the eastern part of Clarendon will experience significant storm surge, and this could be up to like 8 feet or maybe more. So we will give you more details later in our later bulletins of the height of the storm surge. We'll try to see if we can also produce some maps that will indicate how far inland the storm surge will impact, so that those persons who are some distance from the coastline but still in the low-lying area would also have an idea of what to expect. Of course, that's where we are concerned with places, even in the St. Andrew, Kingston area, even coastal St. Catherine, that could be affected by storm surge. Port Royal comes to mind, and there are also communities associated with Portmore as you move toward the coast as well that would be at risk from storm surge because of this system. As I said, it is what is called a catastrophic hurricane. That is what is expected to not only pass the island, but move directly over the island.
Prime Minister Holness urges Jamaicans to be calm and prepared despite anxiety brought on by Melissa. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness has urged Jamaicans to be calm and prepared, even as he acknowledged the anxiety brought on by Melissa. Speaking at a press briefing, Mr. Holness stressed that people should be mindful of 3 main elements, including the fact that the storm could linger at least 3 days.
The system is quite an unusual one, sitting in the Caribbean Sea for such a long time, making up its mind where it will go. it is obvious that it now has a trajectory where we can, with great certainty, say that Jamaica will be impacted. Let me be clear that the entire Jamaica will be impacted by this storm. The outer bands seem to be very wide, and it is already affecting the Dominican Republic and Haiti with significant rainfall. We should expect the same. So the first impact that we should be preparing for would be heavy rains. Once it becomes a major hurricane, which is projected to be within a day, then we will have heavy winds. The third impact will be the length of time that it will stay. If it continues to be as slow moving as it has been, then we could expect anywhere from 2 to 3 days. Would that be correct, Evan? Or even longer. So those are the three things you should be, in your mind, be prepared for. Now, I know that there are many Jamaicans who are anxious, who are very concerned, and rightfully so. You should be concerned. But the best way to address anxiety and any nervousness and concern is to be prepared. So I would urge all my fellow citizens, everyone who is now feeling nervous, anxious, uncertain, that now is the time to be prepared.
All tourist businesses preparing for Melissa Chamber of Commerce urges caution. The business community in Orchard St. Anne has intensified preparations for the possible impact of Tropical Storm Melissa, which is expected to impact Jamaica over the next few days. On Friday, sandbags were being put in place at several stores in downtown Ocho, which is susceptible to flooding during heavy rains. Elsewhere, some stores began battening down with plyboard, even as several businesses stayed open in the afternoon on Friday. Intermittent showers have affected sections of St. Anne over the past week, with several streets in the resort town being flooded at one point. President of the St. Anne Chamber of Commerce, Dr. Ransford Davidson, urged business leaders to take the threat of the tropical storm seriously and to act immediately to protect life, property, and livelihoods. We encourage all businesses to implement their hurricane preparedness and continuity plans now, secure premises, safeguard important equipment and records, and communicate with employees and customers regarding safety and operations. Early and full-scale preparation is key to reducing business risk, minimizing losses, and supporting a speedy recovery once the storm has passed, Davidson said in a statement to reporters. CPFSA says child care facilities secured in wake of Tropical Storm Melissa. The Child Protection and Family Services Agency, CPFSA, says government and private residential child care facilities have been secured in the wake of Tropical Storm Melissa. CPFSA CEO Laurette Adams Thomas says the agency's disaster committee has been meeting regularly since the start of the hurricane season in June, and as of yesterday, reports from its regions are that all 50 residential childcare facilities have been properly secured in anticipation of the upcoming weather system. We have been preparing our childcare facilities by activating the established disaster plans. Each childcare facility has its own disaster plan, which guides the disaster preparedness process for that facility, including checking physical structures for leaks or other repairs to be made, as well as securing adequate food, water, and necessary hurricane supplies. The plan also states the necessary measures that are to be undertaken in the event of an emergency at that facility, she noted. Adams Thomas says all facilities have at least a 2-week supply of food, water for children and caregivers. The facilities have also secured necessary disaster supplies based on their individual needs. Additionally, the CPFSA will convene an Emergency Operations Center, which will offer more centralized assistance to both our facilities and parish offices, as well as liaison directly with central personnel from ODPEM, MOHW, JFB, JDF, and the JCF, Adams Thompson stated. She also shared that during passing of water system 2 children abuse reported numbers that can receive text messages will be prioritized. We must never let our guard down when it comes to protecting our children. While persons can contribute to calling our 24/7 child abuse reporting hotline 211 to make a report, if they experience difficulty reaching us during the storm, they may also contact us via WhatsApp or by calling 878-2882 or 876-822-7031, she stated, adding that child abuse reports can also be made available by reporting it through report@childprotection.gov.jm or through the CPFSA social media page on Instagram, Facebook, and X, formerly Twitter, at CPFSAJM. To subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.